Alright guys, so everyone knew thrusters and burpees were coming since we hadn't seen these movements yet in the open. Not surprising to see it in the ladder format, but of course the surprise this year is that this is a 4-time workout, first time we've seen that in the open. Kind of interesting in that some people can pace much better if they know how many reps they have left, rather than just how much time. So that's an interesting piece, especially for some of you guys who struggle more with the muscle endurance type of piece of something like this. Knowing that you have 12 reps left can certainly help you move through this a little bit better than knowing you have 2 minutes left. So that's kind of an interesting little shift in strategy for some people, but overall I don't think it's necessarily going to be that relevant. For this workout, I mean, just looking at it, you know the pain is coming, right? You know somewhere in those sets, whether it's on the set of 15, the set of 18, the set of 12, wherever, you know this is going to really start to hurt. So the key here is you just got to accept that before you go into it. Know that the pain is coming, know that you've trained to push through it, and then just accept it, go there, keep moving. Not really too much strategy on this, since it's really just going to be, can you take the pain, and then just like some of the other pieces, how long can you move before the pain sets in, because the top people are going to be able to get through a good chunk of this before it gets really horrible for them, and then they'll be able to kind of just push through and finish it off. Other people, it's going to set in early, and this is just going to be a grind for 15 minutes, if not more. Only real strategic pieces here to think about is going to be, what's your cycle time look like on the thruster, what's your cycle time look like on the burpees. So on the thruster, for a lot of people, it's going to actually be more efficient to rest for a second up top and then keep going, rather than trying to turn these reps over quick and getting yourselves in a hole. So don't be afraid to slow that thruster down up top for a second and then drop right back down into that next rep, rather than either A, blowing yourself up early, or B, having to fraction these sets a whole bunch. Bar facing burpee, worst kind of burpee. Really a difficult position, especially because as you get tired, that cycle time on that can just creep as you kind of take more shuffle steps and set your feet and take 5 steps to turn around and all that type of stuff. So for you guys who are not good at burpees, like myself, might be relevant to just step up and down the entire time on something like this, rather than trying to do jumping ones at the beginning and blowing up, because we'd rather see consistent pace on the burpees throughout all of the reps, rather than hot out the beginning, done halfway through. So you guys who are bad at burpees, maybe try stepping up and down. You guys who are good at burpees, there's a few different things that may work here. Rich was actually just going hop, hit sort of a touch and go hop from the ground over the bar, then would kind of land, take his time turning around, touch and go hop over the bar, land, take his time turning around. Something else that may be worth experimenting with is a double hop as you approach the bar, right? So that go down, stand up, and then hop to the bar and hop over. That can be a little bit slower, but kind of keep you moving through with kind of a good touch and go type of pace here. But the biggest thing here to keep in mind is that you want your burpees, they're going to slow down, not to slow down too much and not to get stuck taking 8 or 10 steps every single time. Check the standards on the bar facing burpee before you go, because this is an area where there can be a lot of gray area judging and some shenanigans going on. So just make sure that you actually follow the standards, and then all your bar facing burpees are going to be legit reps. Other thing to consider here, in terms of fractioning reps, it's difficult to make a blanket recommendation. This is where you have to know yourself, right? If you know you can hang on to the bar, maybe relevant to do it, and just kind of go to that suck zone and keep moving. For some of you guys, it's just not going to be feasible. You're going to have to break the reps up. You just got to kind of know where that is, pick your chunks, and that's got to be an entirely intuitive process for you guys. Time domain here, this is going to be longer, but really uncomfortable. So think of this kind of like an extended lactate endurance piece here. Those top times from tonight were actually super fast, faster than I expected with the bar facing burpee. I think honestly anything under 12 minutes is going to be a pretty good time on this workout. Another thing to keep in mind here is the total volume, especially on the thruster, just with that repeated eccentric contraction. This may be a one and done workout. Some of you guys might not be able to recover well enough to do well on another, 84 thrusters in 2 days. That just might not be feasible for those legs to bounce back and go again. So some of you, volume not an issue, recovery is no problem. You might want to hit this thing twice, especially if you're kind of on the cusp, either for your team or your individual self for regionals. Other people, you might only get one shot at this one, because that second time you might have brutal DOMs and it just might not be there to actually kind of go to that place again and hit it. So keep that in mind when you're kind of planning out when you're going to do this. Either make sure you're really recovered or hit it early so you can get another piece on it. If you are going to do it twice, might be a good idea to do practice intervals rather than a full workout and then hit it for real just one time. All right, guys, good luck.